we're going to explain how to fix the DNS probe finished NX domain error you might encounter on Google Cloud when working with a domain, specifically using www.mat.africa as an example. This error essentially means that your DNS records aren't correctly pointing to your Google Cloud resources. Let's troubleshoot this step by step. 1. Verify domain ownership. Before diving into DNS configurations, double-check that you genuinely own the domain www.mat.africa. This might seem obvious, but ensuring proper ownership prevents wasted time. Use your domain registrar's tools to confirm ownership. 2. Examine DNS records. This is the core of the problem. The DNS probe finished NX domain error signifies that your domain's DNS records, specifically the A record, IPv4, and AAA record, IPv6, aren't correctly pointing to the public IP address of your Google Cloud resource, like a compute engine instance or cloud load balancer. Log into your domain registrar's control panel, e.g., GoDaddy, Namecheap, Google Domains. Find the DNS management section for www.mat.africa. You should see entries for A and TAPE records. These records should have the correct public IP address of your Google Cloud server. If you're using a cloud load balancer, use the IP address provided by the load balancer. 3. Check for propagation. After updating your DNS records, it takes time for these changes to propagate across the internet's DNS servers. This propagation delay can range from a few minutes to several hours, depending on your registrar and DNS server configuration. Use a DNS propagation checker tool. Many are freely available online to monitor the changes. These tools show you if the updated DNS records are being correctly picked up by DNS servers worldwide. 4. Confirm Google Cloud configuration. Make sure your Google Cloud resource, compute engine, cloud load balancer, etc. is properly configured and its firewall rules permit inbound traffic to the ports your application requires. Check your instance's status. It must be running and reachable from the outside. If you're using a load balancer, ensure it's healthy and forwarding traffic appropriately. 5. Check for CNAME conflicts. If you're using a CNAME record for www.mat.africa, ensure it's correctly pointing to your Google Cloud Resources DNS name and avoids conflicts. Some DNS providers don't allow CNAME records at the root domain, e.g., Mat Africa itself, only subdomains. You might need an A or AAA record for the root domain. 6. Verify firewall rules. Google Cloud. Your Google Cloud project's firewall rules could be blocking incoming traffic. Double-check your firewall rules to ensure they allow inbound traffic on the necessary ports for your application. 7. Use the Google Cloud. DNS. Consider migrating your domain's DNS management to Google Cloud DNS. This can simplify configuration and troubleshooting, especially if you already have other resources within the Google Cloud ecosystem. 8. Clear browser cache and DNS cache. After making all changes, clear your browser's cache and your computer's DNS cache. This ensures you're accessing the most up-to-date DNS information. This is a simple step, but it's often overlooked. 9. Advanced troubleshooting, if necessary. If the problem persists, you might consider using advanced debugging tools like dig or nslookup from your command line to check DNS record resolution directly. You could also examine your Google Cloud logs for any error messages that might offer further clues. If you've followed all these steps and the problem remains, reach out to Google Cloud support for further assistance. They have tools and insights to diagnose issues beyond the scope of basic troubleshooting.